you're not addicted. At least, not in the way you think. Because if this was just about willpower, you would have fixed it already. But you didn't. Instead, you keep ending up in the same place doing something you already decided to stop. Not because you chose to, but because something else kicked in. That moment when your hand moves before your mind even agrees? Yeah, that's not a lack of discipline. That's a system at work. And right now, it knows exactly how to pull you back in. Hey, this is Vex Oriss. If you've ever felt like you're losing control over something small that somehow runs more of your life than it should, subscribe. Your brain is not trying to make you better. It's trying to make you efficient. And efficient just means doing what feels easier, even if it's not actually good for you. That's it. It doesn't care about your long-term goals. It doesn't care about the version of you you're trying to become. It cares about one thing: getting you out of discomfort as fast as possible. At some point, without you noticing, it learns something. Scrolling makes boredom disappear. Distraction softens stress. Numbing out takes the edge off reality. Not perfectly, not permanently, but just enough. And just enough is all your brain needs to decide something works. So it saves it, so it runs it again next time, and then again, until it becomes automatic. This is the part people misunderstand. They think they're fighting a habit. They're not. They're fighting a loop. Something triggers a feeling. Your brain runs a response. You get relief. And once that loop is built, it doesn't just go away because you decided to stop. It becomes something else, not a choice, a shortcut. Like your brain built a highway, and now every feeling automatically takes that route. You can remove the action, but the trigger is still there. The need for relief is still there. So the system just waits. And the moment your energy drops, it snaps back. That's why just be more disciplined feels like it works until it doesn't. Because willpower is like a battery. This is something else, a system that doesn't turn off. So every time you try to fight it with motivation, you're bringing a dying phone into a fight that never runs out of power. And you've been trying to use it to fight something that's already running in the background. It's not a fair fight. That's why you keep losing. Not because you're not trying, but because you're trying the wrong way. So I stopped trying to win harder and started trying differently. No big reset, no dramatic new life starts now, just small changes, almost too small to take seriously. There's a concept called Kaizen. It's built on a simple idea. You don't fix everything at once. You improve things slightly, consistently. At first, I didn't think it would work, because when something feels this ingrained, small changes feel pointless. But I tried it anyway. And the first thing I did was nothing. I didn't quit. I didn't block anything. I just paid attention. Every time the habit showed up, I asked, what just happened? What am I feeling? What am I getting from this? And patterns started showing up. Not random, predictable. And that told me something important. This wasn't random. It was a system. So instead of attacking it, I interfered with it. Just slightly. I added friction. Not enough to stop the habit. Just enough to interrupt autopilot. Phone charger on the other side of the room. Autoplay turned off. Tiny obstacles. And that pause mattered. Because for the first time, there was a gap between impulse and action. Then I stopped trying to remove the habit and replaced it. Because the habit wasn't the real target. The relief was. So I asked a better question. What else can give me even a small version of that? Not perfect, not better, just possible. A few slow breaths, standing up for a minute, doing nothing and letting the urge pass. It didn't feel impressive. It wasn't supposed to. The goal wasn't to beat the habit. It was to introduce another option. Then I made the goal smaller than I wanted. Not stop doing it, just notice before you do it. That's it. And every time I did that, even once, I counted it. Because your brain doesn't change from intensity. It changes through repetition. It actually accepts. And slowly something shifted. The habit didn't disappear, but it stopped feeling inevitable. And once it's not inevitable, you're not stuck anymore. It doesn't feel dramatic when it's happening. No breakthrough moment, no sudden transformation, just small shifts. Repeated enough times that they start to matter. You're not forcing yourself into a new life. You're just changing direction, slightly, over and over again, until that direction becomes who you are. And in a world designed to pull your attention every second, even a small amount of control is already rare. It compounds, quietly. You don't break the pattern by fighting it. You break it by making it irrelevant. So maybe the question isn't, how do I stop this completely? Maybe it's, what's one small shift I can repeat even on a bad day? Because that's how this changes. Not all at once, just enough to move you somewhere better. What's one pattern in your life that keeps repeating no matter how many times you try to stop it? Drop it in the comments. I'm curious what it looks like for you. And if you want more breakdowns that actually help you understand what's going on under the surface, subscribe to Vex Oriss. We're not fixing everything overnight. We're just getting 1% less stuck.